My name is Stacey Morton-Cohen. I live in Colorado now, but I'm originally from New Orleans, and I was raised on great food. Today I'm going to show you how to make a Caesar salad into a plant-strong, healthier version than the traditional version. I'm going to start by making the dressing. To do so, I have roasted some garlic cloves. I have about 4 here. I'm going to put them in a blender. I have a tablespoon of freshly squeezed lemon juice. I have about a tablespoon of nutritional yeast and a teaspoon or so of dulse. Dulse is a sea vegetable that's going to bring kind of that anchovy taste to it without actually having to use an animal product. You could also substitute kelp powder or nori for that. This is a ½ cup of raw cashews that has been soaked in water for about 20 minutes. The cashews kind of soften up and make for a creamier dressing when you soak them. I also have a tablespoon of Dijon mustard, a teaspoon of vegan Worcestershire, and a teaspoon of capers. The capers are actually the only really salty element that I'm adding, but it gives it, again, kind of that anchovy saltiness without putting too much sodium in the dish. And then I'm going to take a half a cup of unsweetened almond milk. If you prefer, you could use hemp or soy milk as well. That's my final ingredient, and I'm going to blend all of these up in a blender until they're smooth and creamy. That should about do it. Just kind of check it for creaminess. Yeah, that's about right. I'm going to let that sit while I put the rest of this dish together so that all the flavors can blend. It just makes for kind of a tastier dressing. Now, what I have done with my romaine lettuce is I've actually roasted this in an oven. And the reason I've done this is because here in Colorado it's still kind of chilly and I'm not quite ready for the cold chopped salad that you would normally have for a Caesar. Roasting it makes it a little more of a comfort food, and it kind of brings out a more complex flavor in the romaine. To roast it, what I did is I took a romaine heart, I washed it, and then I cut off the end so that the heart still holds together. And then I'm going to cut it in half, and you can roast this either under a broiler on high for about a minute on each side, or you could even put it in like a panini pan and roast it on the stovetop, which gives it those beautiful grilled marks. Again, if you don't want to go to the trouble of roasting it, you can just chop this into a traditional chopped romaine. So to actually put the salad together, the last thing I have to make is the croutons. And the way I've done that is I have taken a piece of Ezekiel bread, or sprouted, you can use any sprouted grain bread, and I'm going to cube it, and I'm going to rub each side of the bread with roasted garlic, and I'm just going to kind of take it and squeeze it and rub it on the bread on either side. And then I've also taken some soaked sun-dried tomatoes, and I'm going to rub both sides of my bread with that as well. And what that does is it allows me to not use olive oil, but my seasoning will still stick, giving the croutons some flavor. So I'm going to take the pieces and I'm going to rub them in a little bit of onion powder and thyme, and then I'm just going to put these under the oven for about 15 or 20 minutes in 350 degrees until they're nice and crisp and crunchy. So to actually put the salad together, I take my romaine lettuce, put it on my plate. I'm going to drizzle some of my dressing over it that's now had a little time to gel flavor-wise. And then I'm going to take some sun-dried tomatoes that I use in place of the romaine or the Parmesan. And I just julienne them a little bit, put them on here. And then I take some of my croutons, which you can now see have roasted until they're beautiful golden. I assemble them on the dish, and here I have a plant-strong, low-fat, salmonella-free version of the Caesar salad.